Oh, ye tormented souls, my goal is to sit on the globe like North Poles. And that's the top, man. Going hammer like a Glock cane. All flowing grammar, no shot strain. I'm so sober when I speed. I call it catching bullets with my teeth. You can feel it in your chest like Bruce Lee jumping on your vest. But I can't feel yours through my Superman S. Yes, I'm Superman out. Red Cartier look like Superman house. Inshallah to my plan, hoping super plans out. My life is like Italians doing 100 miles. And the top open like the roof, I ran out of towels. Walked right into Philippe's when I ran out of chows. Next up is crustaceans and fast food halaus. The beef is all the same, it's just how they kill the cows. Somebody tell Malcolm X that I'm trying to steal his style. And tell Cornel West that I'm trying to steal his flow. Go back in time, take the slaves, plow shovels and they hooks. They masters get the it was written intro. SLR 10 flow. SLR 10 flow. Soundtrack, let the beat go. Soundtrack, let the beat roll. In this world, I'm so alone. You know what I'm saying? In the category all on my own. So, cause I tell the world what I want ain't hot, I ain't
what
top
I want
nothing.
to.
That mean I ain't got no number.
I feel so alone.
Well, I guess I'll just
They
be
treat me like an outcast.
a whole nother genre of music then. It's called
But you can't
super.
tell me what you gon' do.
Yeah. Cause nigga, I don't believe that. Like 9/11 came from Iraq. Mayweather on a speed bag. Automatic weapons keep the same rhythm he has. That's how the hood sound. Grew up in the hood town. West side ghetto. When the city cook count. Black skies looking up. Crack pipes looking down. Accused of not looking back. Blind nigga look around. City on my back. So the shine go everywhere I'm at. Present so shiny, Mercedes so mad. Cop that from platinum, the color of my plaid. I memorize colors off of Yo MTV raps. A nightmare walking in a psychopath's lab. Defeat your purpose like a weed stash in the rehab. And guess who's sneaking in the weed bags? That be me with my me ass. Not trying to be anything but free ass. Flow is so nuts, the track is getting teabagged. Just wanna rap nice, that ain't me tag. If you wanna be mean, then you wanna be me bad. Call that being pretty lyrically swag. Soldier call it super lupe lyrical. You can't understand me nor mimic my miracles. All I see is me and I'm a mother loving miracle. Being dope is all in the muscle. It's more than just a pause and a chuckle. I bench press elephants and bowling ball juggle. So don't be scared to take the super Lou route. Top 5 alive and I only got 2 out. School you on your history, I tell you what you bout. Fight for all the right things and let the Huey new out. For real, what these niggas talking about? 2-man Big Pun, a 1-man Slaughterhouse, a 2-album Jay-Z, a 1 nigga Wu-Tang. Younger, hungry, most ever conscious rapping Lil Wayne. I don't care for similarities.
You're now listening to the Sneaker Rocks.
Oh shit alert, Louis clothes, calling women sisters, Louboutins and
Yo, what's up? Why does it seem like we haven't been back in here forever? Like, you know, we went to San Jose, which took us out of the studio, and then Mother's Day happened, and then the one episode between that, I know for myself, I gave like 0 fucks, so like we kind of came in here and riffed about certain topics, but people loved it though because they love the conversation about, you know, YouTube versus
the last
old
one was
school.
pretty good though.
The last one, I mean, that's a testament to our abilities, I guess. We can just walk in here and just literally just kind of just riff on subjects in particular about the culture and where it's headed, where it's going. Got a lot of feedback from that. Anyway, let's get right into it, man. I got one of my favorite people. She's about to be, it's not even about to be, like, it's literally a tie between her and one legged lister, Jazzy Ray. She dude, like, if you ever get a chance to talk to her, I'm telling you, she's one of my favorite people to talk to because she keeps it absolutely real and she holds absolutely nothing back. But in any event, let's get right into it. In case you didn't know, I am the African Caesar.
All hail Caesar, Emperor of Rome, monarch of the Roman Empire, ruler of the world.
Hail Caesar! Hail Caesar!
That's right. And of course, I got my ace, my sidekick, Guru.
Probably to announce I don't have to work Sundays no more. Now that I'm a store manager, so I'm here on time with everyone else.
Ooh, he's a store manager at Villa. Ooh.
You would have learned this.
Pick your own schedule, man.
Hey, that's
Priceless, boy.
boy. That's been a long time coming. If anybody knows the saga that is Villa over here in Detroit, man, just know that's been a long time coming.
I came from part-time sales associate, working that was actually my second job, California Pizza Kitchen. Serving and bartending was my first. To go from that, a part-timer, to a store manager it's a great
Have you talked to John lately?
I haven't talked to John lately.
It's been a minute since I talked to him, too. Shout out to John. And, of course, we have our main dude, Francis 313.
Looking good, Francis. Well rested. Like you've been pitching, not catching.
I swear to God, that's going to be my favorite drop of anyone's of all time.
Lighten up, Francis.
Jumpman is not here. He's having some health issues. I'm not going to go into detail. Just know. Wow, why is that tickling me? Just know to keep him in your prayers. Just kind of, hit him up. Just, show him some love, man. A lot of love he shows the community. He's in dire need of that right now, saying to keep his head up. He's got some things that's trying to bring him down, but I ain't gonna let him. And hopefully you guys will assist in me not letting him. So with that being said, in case you just stumbled across YouTube and don't know what the hell you're listening to, this is episode 127 of the Sneaker Box Podcast with Sneaker Bar Detroit, a part of the Crepitech family. What's the point of spending all that money on your shoes if you're not going to keep them clean long enough to get your money's worth? Practice safe stunting. Go to crepitech.com and get your shoes some protection. I mean, sneakers are like an investment. You spend X amount of dollars on this shit. Okay, let me say this. The real sneakerheads, y'all not necessarily trying to resell them, but at the same time, you ain't trying to destroy them either. And so, if you're going to spend that much money on your shoes, keep them clean, get you some crap. There's nobody better, obviously. Also, make sure to follow us on social media. You can follow us on Instagram at the sneakerbox_podcast. We just got over 6,000 followers. Yeah. Follow us on Twitter. Let's get over 1,000 on there. We got like 970 or something like that. So let's get 30 more followers tonight. Follow us on Twitter at the sneakerbox_. And then you can follow us on Facebook by looking at the Sneakerbox Podcast page. And if you'd like to talk to us live on the podcast, you can call us at toll-free 888-799-5267. Call us with all your sneaker comments and questions. Let us know what shoes you just got. Let us know what shoes you're looking for. Like I said, we've had a couple people get shoes through the show. Whether they were looking for a shoe or they had a shoe, regardless, somebody was listening, somebody heard it, and they was able to link up. So if you're looking for a shoe or if you have a shoe you're trying to get rid of, call us. You never know who's listening. Yes, I am sucking up to the listeners. Please call us. I miss you guys. You don't call no more. You don't write no more. So anyway.
This is so unfair.
I feel like there's something else I'm missing. Oh, real quick, before I get into it, shout out to Nojo Kicks. They did hook me up with the Chicago 23s. Shout out to Andy and those guys. So we'll probably see them in Chicago.
You like that? You like that?
That's audio of him telling me I like those shoes. So anyway, let's get right into it.
Actually, before we get into that, can I take a quick second to so before Mother's Day, I won't get into too much into it. My mother-in-law's house caught fire, and
sorry about that.
I just want to take a second to thank Buckeye, Daniel One Leg Lester, Connor, OG Sneaks. They all sent their condolences over IG. I shared them with my mother-in-law, and it's helping her get through that tough time right now. And and shout out to you, Caesar, because you were actually one of the first people to call me after I posted it. So I want to thank you for that too. So you know,
I felt guilty. Like I was just smoking a cigarette and I just flicked it, and I wasn't trying to burn the house down.
But no, it's
Guru said,
yeah, no, I didn't forget. I didn't forget.
He's always getting forgotten. Like
I didn't forget.
I think it's because you in the corner.
No, I didn't forget. It's
because
just
you got that TSA hat on. You working for them. That's why it all makes sense now, Francis.
I was going to get to the outward is just
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Has just been great for everyone. And we're rebuilding, so it's getting there. And I just wanted to say thank you to everybody that hit me up on social, text messaged, and just a couple of people from the show. So I just wanted to say thanks to everybody.
Oh, Jazzy's in the feed right now too. Hey, look, keep track of the feed because it's already crazy. Like the feed is during the show, so I can only imagine when you add her to it, like how crazy it's going to get. I'm telling you, she's one of my favorite people. I'm just gonna gush about her all throughout the show. Anyway, let's get right into it. This is the Sneaker Box Podcast. Fab 5 releases from the previous week.
Fab 5.
The Fab Five. The Fab Five.
The Fab 5.
Top 5.
I saw it in my dreams. 5, 5, 5.
And it's brought to you by Sneaker Legends, Detroit's newest sneaker spot. Missed out on your favorite sneaker release? No problem. Just make your way down to the store located at 1033 Howard Street in Dearborn, Michigan. Or you can look up the inventory of the latest and greatest sneakers on their website. It's sneakerlegends.com. They recently just had their 1-year anniversary. They was giving a lot of shoes away for retail. Then they did the Yeezy giveaway. It's just crazy. Shout out to them. And, I know we talk a lot about resellers and whatnot, but I have to say from what I know, they do things the right way.
Yeah, no, they're...
You know what I'm saying? So, like, I definitely appreciate them, because they try to, they try to show love where they can. Also, I know I'm forgetting somebody else. Oh, shout out to Rasta Clock, too, for the bracelets. Thank you. I love you guys. Unbox that. Make sure y'all go. Shit, I'm going to put the microphone. I turned it the wrong way. Where's the camera? Okay, there you go. The Unboxed app. Shout out to Mike. He sent me some shirts. I'm definitely going to represent over there in London. Shout out to him. Download the app on iTunes. And shout out to OG Sneak. I'm doing a lot of shout outs as if this is the end of the show where we just shout out everybody, right?
Gotta get out the way.
This is a 2-minute podcast this week. But no, shout out to OG Sneaks, OG Sneakers. I'm tripping. OG Sneakers from the Soul Food Sneaker Talk because he's going to London as well. And so we're going to kind of sort of do a collab between the two shows there to do the live show in London, SneakerCon. So in any event, let's get to these Fab Five, starting with number 5. We have the Nike LeBron 14 Bread. These are dope. How do they sell? Did they sell
out? My company didn't buy a lot of those. I actually didn't buy this color. So it's so crazy because one, Nike dropped his shoe so late into the season. So that's why all these colors are dropping right now because they dropped the first color, in January? That was limited, February. So the first general release didn't come out in March. And I was like, 4 weeks before the playoffs.
What?
So now that's what they're dropping them like crazy. That's Nike. And then Villa likes to buy, and the other companies like to buy their shoes way in advance. So Foot Locker, since they carry the basketball performance, they got most of them. But this shoe, if it had the beginning of the season, would have sold more. And it's still, him and Kyrie had the number 1 selling basketball shoes.
Man, it's later than your prom date, 9 months later.
Yeah,
like,
but it's still a dope colorway, yeah. You should see the Philippine one.
You're going to be happy.
Yeah.
Man.
But we said this, too, before you got here. Like, Guru's going to love this list. First of all, let me just go and give you a hint. Nike did a full sweep this on this list. Nothing better came out. Number 4, we have the Nike Air Presto Safari Pack. With the exception, I liked all of them. I guess if I had to say the teal ones was all right. But, yeah, that pack, especially the white pair, obviously. And I'm guessing that's gold or orange. Oh, yeah, I got to click on it. I'm sorry. I love this pack. I didn't get my hands on them. If anybody want to show me love. How much are those reselling for? Because I know they're reselling for a crazy price. Especially the white pair.
I haven't checked.
I know they're going for like $900. Something stupid. I know it's going to be some stupid retail price or resale price. Number 3, we have the Nike Air Foamposite 1 Metallic Red. Those sold out pretty quickly. I didn't think I knew they were going to sell, but I didn't think they was going to sell like that. And I want to say you told me or somebody told me.
No, bro, they were limited. We get every single foam And the company, I guess Nike only let Villa buy like enough for like 5 stores in the online run. And only the House of Hoop Foot Lockers got them. And they were so limited that the employees couldn't even get their discounts on them. This was a limited shoe by Nike.
Man,
I don't want to talk about it. I had 25 people come to my store in 30 minutes ask me, did they have this shoe?
I mean, to me, it was dumb. I mean, why would you limit that shoe? I mean, why would you retro a shoe just to limit it like that? Especially when it was a general release before. Like, you don't make a general release shoe limited. That's stupid. On top of that, I think they only went up to like a size 14. That's what I was told from a lot of people, like on the sneakers app. Like, there was no shot for a size 15s or larger, which is fucking stupid. Because it's like, why would you? Like, I hear from a lot of brands where they're like, okay, well, we don't have the modes and whatnot. You have the modes for a size 15 in the fall posit. Why you choose to, like, narrow your profit margin or?
I highly doubt it because LeBron wears a 15. I'm pretty sure.
No, he has a 15.
Yeah,
I'm talking about the rest of us.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, you can't
the mode
make
exists.
Yeah, it exists. That's what I'm saying.
No, that's what I'm saying. The mode exists, so why limit yourself? I mean, there's no rhyme or reason. I would love to hear from somebody at Nike to tell me we thought it would be in our best interest to not make as many shoes, even though we know it would sell out. Speaking of which, shout out to whoever I bought these shoes from on eBay. I got the Black History Month D-Rose 7s, and I don't like. He said he got it from an NBA player. So shout out to whoever he got it from, and shout out to him because it was like impossible trying to find that shoe in a size 15. That shoe was dope. Like, I don't like D-Rose's. Like, I'm not crazy about it. I'm not going to say I don't like
that
it.
That was probably one of his best models as far as comfortable,
that's what
comfort,
Nightwing
and performance, too.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I love that shoe. That's probably my favorite colorway of that shoe. Anyway, let's get to it. Number 2, we have the Nike LeBron 14 Agamat. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Agamat? Okay. That was a Philippine release only. like never in history has anybody wanted to, like, was anybody jealous of the Philippines. Yeah, I mean, I guess he had a trip to the Philippines and based his shoe on that. But the shoe was dope as hell. Like, I mean, it's,
Kobe had one last year. It was the Kobe 11, the engineer mesh one. It was like that navy blue, but this one is a more like polished blue. The other one was like a dark royal blue. This is super dope.
Right. And I like the hits of gold on it. Yeah,
it comes with a gold chain necklace. This is real dope.
Yeah, I do. I like the LeBron 14s a lot. And then let's get to number 1. Drum roll? Or do we got no drum roll? Our drummer's off for the week.
They did the same thing with this shoe, man.
The Nike Air Max 97 OG Metallic Gold. Yeah, you know what? I knew it was gonna be chaos for getting those, so I didn't even bother shooting my shot. I don't know if I'm just getting old. I just don't have it in me to fight. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to walk in and pick
because we
something
come
up.
from an era where shoes when it's hard to get, and now that the demand is growing, the supply is somewhat getting smaller, which I don't understand. But the same thing, the company really buy a lot of these. I guess they wouldn't really made it available to them as usual. So it's the same thing, man. It's just make it. And I remember this shoe the following year when Michael Johnson was doing, his appearances. He was wearing that shoe.
Man,
I'm so fresh off that '96 Olympic run he had the year before in Atlanta. So
I heard a lot of these though. I heard there was a lot of pairs overseas though.
I believe it.
So I'm trying to figure out like why. Like,
if you go over there and they sitting, let me know.
Listen, I see. Honestly, somebody sent me a link to a couple spots in London that have some shoes still sitting there. I'm not gonna say because I ain't about to have like a crowd of people rush to the store before I get over there.
Like 3 years ago, remember them Kobe 6 Grinches came out, the LeBron 9, the red LeBron Christmas 9s, all those.
Yeah,
they were just sitting like 4 or 5 months later, which sold out over here. It was sitting over there.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so I'm gonna go over there and then I'll announce it. Once I get what I'm gonna get, then I'll announce it and y'all can go crazy. But you guys already know we did the top 5, so. What comes after that? The ugliest release of the week.
Super ugly.
Brought to you by the Unboxed app, the best way of uploading and keeping track of your sneaker collections. Don't think you need it? Ask an insurance agent or anyone who has lost a collection in an accident or a tragedy. Your mother-in-law didn't have a sneaker collection, did she?
No, she didn't.
Okay. I was going to tell her, get the Unboxed app. Download the Unboxed app today on iTunes and follow them on Instagram and Twitter at Unboxed_app. Ugliest release of the week. I don't know who the fuck these were made for. The Nike Air Max 1 Ultra 2.0 GPS pack. Yeah. Like, you know what? I really tried. I tried to look at these. Okay. I tried to look at them and be objective. And I feel like this. If I got to do all that to, like, make you, like, interesting, then you're really not that interesting and you're really not that attractive. And that goes for shoes or people. So
I just think if it was a GS shoe, it probably wouldn't have been that bad. But
if this was for kids, yes, I'd be like, okay, cool. These are for grown adults. What grown adult is walking around with dumb shit?
And this is available in men's too.
Is it?
Are they?
I'm asking. I'm just asking.
Let's scroll down here. It ain't saying it. Usually it specifically says it's a woman's release, and it's not saying that. So, yes, these are available in men. What I'm telling you right now, the type of dude that wears these wears rompers.
You couldn't wait to get that off.
Yes, yes. I mean, that hot take has been sitting there. That hot take has been sitting there for a week. No, like seriously though, like you wear rompers if you wear these shoes. Like I don't. You sit down to pee. Like, dude, like these are like the most effeminate. And look, if you're effeminate, fine, just own it. But if you try to be gangster and you trying to rock these shoes, nah, bruh. Sorry, sit down. But there are some other ugly shoes that we gotta, mention, the ugly honorable mentions, and that will be the Nike Lab Aquasock 360. Really, honestly, all of them were pretty much trash, but this particular colorway that stood out is the gray crimson navy. The front of it looked like he got syphilis. Like I don't know what's going on.
I don't know how syphilis looks, so I'm just assuming. I guess I take your word for it. Caesar,
I'm just assuming if syphilis was on a shoe, it would look like that. I think
if you walking to and from the pool, this is a great accessory shoe.
Is this
yes,
like
it's more shoe? For. You know what I'm saying? If somebody walking this sneaker kind of trying to stunt, then yes, we clown them. But like this, this is a great pool shoe.
I was gonna pack all three of
them.
Pool shoe.
You know what else is a great pool shoe? Your feet. Like,
no, it's not. No,
walking around.
No.
Like flip flops. Like, I'm not about to go to Foot Locker. Like, I need some pool shoes.
Till you end up in a tough acting commercial for athletes' feet because everybody else is walking around barefooted. And
that's what these are for swimming, then, right?
That was after
this for poolside activities. Like, I mean, listen, if you
don't want to slip. Caesar, you don't want to slip.
Listen, man, like if I get to the point where I'm like, okay, I need shoes specifically for when I go sit in the side of the pool, I reached a new level in life where I'm not even.
You don't want to slip, man. Well, your feet's big, so you have excellent center of gravity. Our size 11.5, 12 people like us.
Yeah,
we have to watch our strides.
I have shoes to go swimming in, so that's.
You can trip trees with those. we don't have that luxury.
I'm just saying, man. This shoe, and if I had to buy a pool shoe, I would rather walk with some flip flops on or something, like the Marathon gas station joints. I will not look for these. I honestly can tell you that from the bottom of my heart. Also, too, the next ugly honorable mention is the Nike Air Zoom Chalapuka.
That's not that bad.
That shoe looked like I know the other shoe looked like he got syphilis. Did look like he got leprosy. Like it's missing parts of the shoe.
That doesn't look that bad.
Chalapuka. First of all, if your name is Chalapuka. I don't hold too much hope for how you're gonna look. Your name says it all. But yeah, I wasn't feeling any of these shoes. Obviously, they're on the list. But in any event, gonna keep it moving. See, Jumpman's not here, so we have no upcoming events. All right, well, let's do a quick ID and then we get the news.
Yo, what's good? This is Bull RC. This your boy Tony D2 Wild checking in with your boy Mike Ricks, man. And you're listening to the #1 sneaker show, the Sneaker Box Podcast. The Sneaker Box Podcast. The Sneaker Box Podcast with SneakerBarDetroit.com. Hey, you want some good talk? Listen to my boys. Get you some. Yes, sir. Go on.
If you want to make sure your shoes look just as fresh as when they came out the box, practice safe stunting and go to crepprotect.com and get your shoes some protection.
All right, news brought to you by 8-9 Manufacturing Company. 8-9, where quality meets design. Check out the collection of sneaker-based apparel by going to the website at 89.com. Also, look for our collab T-shirt. There's still some small sizes available. Speaking of which, views from the blue. What is it now? Views from the blue.
Yes.
We love you. And we got you a shirt.
Cordon.
We got you a shirt. I'm going to send it off Monday. I was supposed to send it off last week. But for the rest of y'all who actually have to pay for your shirt, make sure to use promo code TSBP to save yourself an extra 20% off of your purchase. All right, so getting right into it. This was funny to me. Deion Sanders says that his sneakers once outsold Michael Jordan's, and that he's never working with Nike again. An article written by Brendan Doon for Soul Collector, NFL Hall of Famer Deion Sanders says that his sales beat out those of a Michael Jordan. He claimed, "We outsold everybody because Air Jordans at that time was just a limited number that they put out, and we blew it out the door." Deion's relationship with Nike has soured since then. Well, obviously, he's been an Under Armour athlete for almost 15 years now, and he's hell bent on never working with Nike again. He also says that he nearly wooed away. He was nearly wooed away by British Knights early on in his career because they offered him more money. Is British Knights still around?
I don't believe so. Or if they probably lurking low.
Like LA Gear's still around, so I'll have to think British Knights is somewhere around there. Let me see, the Charlotte Hornets. Yep. They are?
Yep.
Oh, wow, they're still kicking.
I would say he probably did outsell them, probably because Jordan was making it. Also, too, Jordans wasn't selling out on the first day when they released, opposed to after the 2000s. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So he may have a point, but I'm pretty sure there's a little bit of
certain
exaggeration.
Jordans.
Certain exaggeration.
Certain Jordans and so.
And you have to say which model, too, though.
Yeah. It could have been like the 10s when nobody was checking. Let's see. The Charlotte Hornets will wear Jordan jerseys next season. How crazy is that? An article written by Brandon Doon for Soul Collector. While Nike is set to take over the NBA apparel deal for the 2018 season, not all of the jerseys coming to the league next year will solely feature Nike branding. The Charlotte Hornets confirmed that players on the team will wear Jordan brand uniforms once Nike inherits the NBA contract. In a press release posted recently, the Hornets confirmed that it would be the only one in the league wearing Jordan brand jerseys. Ooh! The new uniforms will be available first at the reopening of the Hornets fan shop in Charlotte, North Carolina. According to the Hornets, the fan shop will play host to more Jordan brand merch. You hear that, Skip? More Jordan brand merch than it has in the years past upon its fall reopening. Nike's new deal to become the official outfitter of the NBA is currently set up to run for 8 years. So
after it's over, they should renew it for another 8 because Adidas shouldn't get it back.
Man, never again. I get the Under Armour before I get the
who else? Under Armour? No, Under Armour don't need it either because they're gonna make ghetto. They're gonna make button-up jerseys. They're gonna make jerseys ghetto.
Argyle jerseys.
No, straight. And all the jerseys are gonna be white, no black ones.
Yep. KKK white.
Once you go black there, it's hard to go back, because what happens is white guys, you guys don't dance.
They don't. Kobe Bryant's all-white Air Jordan collection is up for auction. Heritage Auctions recently announced that they'd be auctioning off the Air Jordan Kobe Bryant all-white collection, which came from a private seller in California. Kobe Bryant. The estimated Kobe is up here trying to sneak sell his collection. The estimated worth of the collection is listed at over $200,000.
That's it?
Right. That's pocket change. Bidding begins tomorrow, Monday, May 22nd, and will end on Sunday, June 11th. Proceeds from the sales will go to Make-A-Wish Foundation. So, I guess you can buy shoes and give to charity at the same time. Speaking of charity, by the way, too, shout out to our good friend of ours, Chiquita Jones, and the Kicks for Kids Foundation. They had their Kicks and Art event yesterday. We've been working with them to try to get shoes. We're trying to get 50 shoes before the event. And all the shoes and all the money donated go towards children in need. There's a lot of kids here in Detroit who need shoes. They got to go to school. We got all 4 seasons here, especially in the winter. So we try to provide them with shoes, footwear, and also too, especially in high school, that's when you're growing into your own and stuff. So we try to provide shoes for those types of kids as well. Because we all know how it is in high school and trying to impress people. Exactly. So not that anybody's going to donate Yeezys or anything, but we try to donate, shoes so that kids can have something to, that they can wear to school. Or just have in general instead of walking around barefoot. So I know the event was yesterday, but this is something we're going to continue going forward. So if you guys, our listeners, are compelled to follow Kicks for Kids Foundation on Twitter, Instagram, go to the website, kicksforkidsfoundation.org, find out how you can give. Like I said, it doesn't have to even be shoes. You can give $5, $10, whatever. But like I said, all these shoes, all the money goes towards children in need. So definitely want to shout out Chiquita on that. And she might go to Dallas with us. So that'd be dope. That house is going to be crazy. That house is gonna be crazy. I'll tell you. Francis, are you going?
If I can get away long enough from this house situation.
Oh man, that's a very big if.
Yeah.
That's a huge if.
It's on my list of things I want to still do.
Oh, God damn it. All right, so yeah, look out for Dallas because I'm looking forward to that because when they say everything is bigger in Dallas, they are not bullshitting. That house is huge. It's like 5,000 square feet.
I saw those pictures. It's
I know. I probably shouldn't even sell it because now somebody's gonna go buy it just to spite us. Shit, there's a lot of news from this week.
I'm looking through this packet. I'm like, well, damn.
Oh, okay. Look, check this out. So Kanye West launches first Yeezy jewelry collection. An article written by Tracy William Cohen. You know how I hate 3 names, so I'm just call her Trace Cohen for Complex Style. Kanye West has launched his first jewelry collection. The line, a collaboration between Yeezy and Jacob & Company's Jacob Arabo. Is it Arabo or Arabu? Arabo? A.K.A. Jacob the Jeweler, includes 12 pieces inspired by 14th century Florentine art. His wife, Kim Kardashian, has been modeling the pieces from the collection for months. In fact, E! News added that some of the pieces from the collection were reported stolen following last year's armed robbery at Kim's Paris apartment. In a brief statement to Vogue, Kanye explained the intended timelessness of his inaugural jewelry collection. He said, I wanted to create something that represented timeless love. Prices for the Yeezy jewelry collection range from $1,530 to $11,960. The Yeezy collab with Jacob the Jeweler collection is currently available at YeezySupply.com. That sounds like it's a fake website.
Sounds like a bootleg.
I know it sounds like a bootleg website, but that's the information I was given. Some people are getting sued or reported on. Adidas responds to a report of substandard conditions at Yeezy factory. In an article written by Brandon Doom for Soul Collector, British tabloid The Daily Mirror put Adidas on blast recently, publishing an investigation into one of Adidas' contract factories in China where its popular Yeezy Boost sneakers are made. The article compares retail prices of the shoe with the wages of those who make them and features photos from inside the factory. In a statement provided to Soul Collector, Adidas says it is dedicated to working with manufacturers who are fair and honest. Adidas says the factories that produce its sneakers and apparel are subject to audits by third-party entities and company's own compliance team. The brand confirmed that shoes from Kanye West's Yeezy Boost line are made by factories Apache and Qinglu in the Guangdong and Fujian regions, respectively. Man,
oh boy, you just read a Chinese menu.
Man, just give me that duck sauce. Adidas argues that average monthly take-home wages for workers at these factories are well above monthly minimum wages in the region. I don't know why I'm laughing because this sounds like
the fact that it's like
they pay them pennies and we pay them nickels.
Well,
like okay, that's more.
But it's a communist country, so the president dictates the wages. So you can't be mad at Adidas because when Adidas goes to China and they meet with whatever president of economics, they determine the pay for the country in communist countries.
Right, yeah.
So that's why. So you can't get mad if they paying it. They only paying what the president.
No, I know it. But it's just funny though. Like the aesthetics of it. It's like,
and also too, man, I don't see no harsh conditions because when I see them fake Yeezys being made in the factory, bro. They be cool, calm. They get breaks, all that. They be following
they
me.
Getting paid.
Somehow they find my Instagram page. Little me old guru. They find my page, and I look, and they be in there chilling. So I don't think they factory conditions that bad. If you got time to make an Instagram story making fake shoes, take unauthorized pairs, and you got factory conditions, that's okay.
Well, Adidas says that Apache workers earn an average of 2,817 RMBs.
Chinese yuan renminbi.
Okay. Which equals $409 US versus Guangdong's monthly minimum wage of 1,210
Chinese yuan renminbi.
Yes, which equates to $175 US, and that Qinglu workers earn an average of 3,059
Chinese yuan renminbi.
Which equals to $444 US. Jesus versus Fujian's monthly minimum wage of $1,350.
Chinese yuan renminbi.
Which equals $196 US. The Daily Mirror's report was aided by New York-based nonprofit China Labor Watch, which polices conditions in factories.
It's pronounced Gordon.
What's that, 2 so far? Puma sues Forever 21 over Rihanna sneakers. It seems like Forever 21 is like forever
being sued,
getting sued by somebody. Quit ripping off people's shit. An article written by Amir Ismail for Soul Collector, German footwear company Puma filed a design patent, trade dress, and copyright infringement lawsuit against Forever 21, a brand notorious for copying designs. Forever 21 recently released a collection of their own that closely resembles the Rihanna Puma Fenty. According to the lawsuit, Puma is accusing Forever 21 with copying 3 of its most popular designs: the Fenta Puma Creepers, the Bow Slides, and the Fur Slides, in an attempt to trade on the substantial goodwill of Puma, Rihanna, and the Fenty shoes. The patented design of the Puma Creeper is clearly copied when Forever 21 calls it Yoki sneakers. That sounds like some fake shit. A shoe that is widely available for only $25. Puma claims in an attempt to ride the coattails of Puma's substantial investment in and success with the Fendi shoes, Forever 21 is using the Fendi trade dress to offer for sale, distribute, market, and or sell competing shoes that are confusingly similar to the Fendi shoes. In addition to the strong accusations of copyright and trademark infringement, Puma is also claiming rights to the pale pink and olive green colors used on the Bow Slides. Yeah, so Forever 21, like, I swear, like, it seems like I read like 4 or 5 of these stories a year.
Those sneakers are complete, like,
yeah.
I just pulled up a picture
If
of
I
them.
was Puma, if I call somebody, if it gets back to me, but this store is selling a knockoff of what my store is. One, they have to.
See that shit?
I see it.
One, they have to be selling quite well for it to make it all the way to your way. So
Right.
I'll just go to Forever 21 and say, get these fakes over here. I'll get you some real ones.
Man, it's crazy. We got somebody on the phone line. Yay. Richard from Oakland. Rich. Rich. Dude, like, are you inside of, like, an empty, like, submarine or something?
Richard, what's the weather like in Oakland?
Does it rain? Yellow. Rich.
Hello. Richard.
Rich, are you listening to your computer and not your phone right now?
Walk into like,
Okay. Want. I guess, Rich, if you want to, if you feel inclined to, you can call back. I'll do this real quick. The most popular states, or sneakers by state, this list, I have a hard time believing this is true. An article written by Anna Colin for Refinery29.com, a new report from Polyvore breaks down the most searched for sneakers by state. Nike emerged as number 1 in all 50 states. Surprisingly, the runner-up was nearly unanimous across the U.S. Vans won the number 2 spot in 48 states.
I can believe that.
Overall, the study shows that Converse is the most popular brand overall in America. The list breaks down like this. For the states of Alabama, Arizona, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Indiana, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maryland, Minnesota, Missouri, Nebraska, New Mexico, North Carolina, Ohio, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, Virginia, Washington, D.C., and West Virginia, the top 3 shoes are as follows: Converse, Vans, and Jordan. Those are the top 3 shoes in those states. For the states of Alaska and North Dakota, the top 2 shoes, because I guess there was no third shoe, they didn't look for these 2 shoes in Alaska and North Dakota, is Converse and Vans. In the states of Arkansas, California, Hawaii, Idaho, Illinois, Maine, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, New Jersey, Oklahoma, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, South Dakota. South Dakota.
Where's that at?
I know. What country? Right? South Dakota. I'm making up states over here. 51 states of America. Utah, Wisconsin, and Wyoming. The top 3 shoes are Converse, Vans, and Adidas. Specifically, the Adidas Superstar. In Iowa, the top 3 shoes are Converse, Vans, and Puma. In Michigan and Washington, is Converse, Vans, and Adidas, specifically the Adidas Stan Smith. And I just knew for sure Jumpman bought enough Jordans for it to make it the list.
Agree.
Right. In Mississippi, the top 3 shoes are Converse, Jordan, and Vans. In Montana, the top 3 shoes are Converse, Vans, and Nike. Specifically, Nike wedge sneakers. That's Montana. Like, isn't there like a lot of mountains in Montana? Like they mountain climbing in wedges? In Nevada, the top 3 shoes are Converse, Vans, and Balenciaga.
And where?
Nevada.
Oh yeah, because Las Vegas, yeah.
Vegas, yeah.
That's so
No
I almost bought
surprise
me a
there.
pair last year out of the Vegas.
No surprise. In New York, the top 3 shoes are Converse, Adidas, specifically the Stan Smiths, and Vans. And last but not least, rounding out this list, Vermont, the top 3 shoes are Converse, Vans, and Adidas, specifically the Adidas Gazelles. So Converse is damn near number 1 on all these top 3 lists, which is surprising. So it's like, how can Nike be the number 1 overall?
Well, they own the Converse.
They own Converse.
So they own Converse and Jordan. So I mean,
own
they got the 2 most
Converse.
iconic sneakers of all time. Not to mention their own repertoire of sneakers.
And then for whatever reason, they own
Nike's
Hurley
not
too, don't
losing.
they?
Like this,
they own Hurley too, don't they?
Yeah.
See,
They own Kohan, but they gave it back. But
this is what I tell people all the
they should have
time.
kept Kohan. If you ask me.
Anytime we have this Adidas versus Nike debate, I'm like, dude, Adidas will have to do everything right for a number of years to impact Nike's pockets. As long as they're making billions more than Adidas, they will forever be number 1, no matter how many likes you get when you post a pair of Yeezys. Any event, like I said, we got one of my favorite people on the show. I love her. As soon as we got on the phone, I was like, yes, give me more of this conversation. We got Miss Jazzaray Allen Lord, former director of operations at Kicks on Fire. Man, it's gonna take like the rest of the show to like list off her accomplishments. Former director of media at Slam Hype, former public relations manager, and project manager at High Times. I really want to ask her about that. Brand influencer, pioneer lady sneakerhead, De La Soul superfan, and author of the book For Creative Souls Who Have Considered Suicide When the Art Wasn't Enough. Miss Jazzaray.
Hey.
Hey.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you guys? You guys look so fucking professional in there with your little setup, all your screens and shit.
Looks can be deceiving.
Yeah, it's come a long way though.
Yeah,
Man.
we've come a long way.
Yeah, we came out of Jumpman's basement into a studio. And this is all White Ranger's doing, by the way. He makes us look good. I just show up.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I'd have been down to do it regardless. But when the live feed popped up, I was like, look at them. They got a camera set up in the corner and everything. Like, they're all ready to go. Yeah. Oh, look, you got multiple views,
there's like
too.
4 of them.
Look at you. He's like, let me show out real quick.
We're working on getting the Matrix camera set up in here so we can just kind of give you that 360 view.
Yeah, when I'm trying to make a point, I have to stop somebody.
But
I heard that.
But no, like I said in the show, man, you becoming one of my favorite people, man. We talked for like an hour and some change the other day, and all good conversation. And you was on my head about not asking you the typical sneakerhead questions, so I got you on that.
Well, not like the typical sneakerhead questions. I guess one of the bigger reasons I don't necessarily do interviews anymore is because it's always the same questions.
Right.
It's like, oh, how does it feel to be a woman in the sneaker community? Like, I don't know. Does anybody walk around and ask you how does it feel to have a dick in the sneaker community? Like, it's the same. I don't understand why. I don't understand it, and especially after being in media for 10 years, you start to ask yourself, like, why do we continue to talk about it then? Why don't we just do something different or find another angle to come at it to bring up the conversation?
Well, since you brought it up, I was going to ask you this later, but it seems to me like initially, yes, like, like people you got attention for being a female sneakerhead, but I think at some point you got attention for your actual abilities and being a sneakerhead, period. Like, do you feel like you did that transition?
Well, it was actually the other way around. When I started at Kicks on Fire, it was an accidental job. It was never like a dream of mine to be at Kicks on Fire. Didn't even exist when I was in journalism school. So sneakers were my passion, and I kind of fell into the job. But I'm very anxious and a very nerdy girl. I never wanted to be in front of the camera or anything like that. And so my first 5 years at Kicks on Fire, nobody knew I was female. It was just something I did at night. My younger son was a newborn at the time. I was working at the Girl Scouts in the daytime, and it was really just something I did for fun at night, and nobody knew in my email because my first name is Jazzaray, which looks very ambiguous. Like, they would hit me up like, okay, man, cool, or like, that's good, what's good, bro? Like, talking to me like that all the time. And I would roll with it. And the second part of it is pretty privileged, too. Not to say that, like, I'm a dime piece or whatever, but if you're a 5 or above and you like boy things, like, it's an automatic situation. You know, like, it's automatic craziness. You know, like, you don't have to be, like, the prettiest bitch alive. Like, you just have to like tomboy things. And you automatically are, like, elevated to this crazy thing for these young men, for men that I would say are, like, 14 to 27.
Right, as long as you passable and your friends won't clown you when you bring them around and you like the same things, in this case, sneakers, I agree with you. Like, yeah, it's pretty easy.
Or like
for
a girl that wants to play video games with you.
Right.
Like, you're like that, you know, are there things that, there's a lot of women like me out there. There's just, we usually hang together in small groups, and you guys have been in sneakers for a long time. That's how sneaker community used to be, small groups. I was in cars also. Like, I got into sneakers because I was in the cars, and people that were into imports, and we would go to, like, Honda Tech and Ibach and meet up, like, they would all have SBs on, and that's how I got into really heavily into collecting. But it was when Khan, who owns Kicks on Fire, came to Easyville, Juan and I, and was like, yo, I want to turn it up. I really want to rebrand Kicks on Fire. Like, no shade to the great work I did there, but when I started there, Kicks on Fire was like the fucking media takeout of sneakers. It was like the most ratchet situation of all time. We had no credibility. It was tragic. Like, there were fakes on the site. Like, it was just a hot fucking mess. So one day, 5 or 6 years into it, he gave us a budget, and he said, let's see what you can do with it. And the very first time I got on Twitter from the Kicks on Fire feed, and there was like 300,000 followers at that time, and I had 500 followers on Twitter. And like, hey, this is Jazzy Ray with Kicks on Fire. My whole fucking phone shut down, and when it got, like, it opened back up, I had 5,000 followers.
Damn.
And everybody was like, who the fuck are you? Like, and I had been the same girl. It was like the same articles, the same job, the same thing. Nothing was different other than the visibility, and everything changed from that moment.
Right. Now, see, you was talking about your name being ambiguous, but I also feel like your skill set is ambiguous too, because like you kind of like a jack of all trades, because you just mentioned you were in the cars, and then you got with Kicks on Fire, and you also write poetry, right?
I do. I'm a writer. That's my jam.
Right.
I'm not I'm a designer by trade, because one of my oldest friends, Rick Official, like, he told me a long time ago, you're just fucking around unless you catch a check. Like, you're not a professional. Like, quit calling yourself a professional rapper unless you get paid to do it. Like, you're just a nigga that's fucking around, like, having fun, you know, and you got a hobby. And so writing has always been my jam and what I went to school for. But the year I graduated, Blogspot happened and print died. So that, hold on. Somebody asked in the comments what kind of car did she own. A B16 Honda EG9, a 4-door.
Ooh.
So anyhow, I love talking cars. So I'm like, yeah, somebody asked. Yeah, but anyhow, it was just like writing was my jam, and I really like working with kids. So before I was at the Girl Scouts, I was at the Boys and Girls Club for 5 or 6 years doing inclusion programming, basically making it possible for kids with special needs and for young brown kids to participate in typical quote-unquote white activities. And then in the Girl Scouts, the same thing, like training black moms to start troops for young girls, young black girls that didn't necessarily feel like they could be Girl Scouts too.
Go ahead and name drop too, because you trained some mothers. Go ahead and name drop.
I trained Ben Stiller's wife. I trained Blair Underwood's wife. Anybody in the Valley, basically. Like, if you lived in Calabasas or in Studio City, then I ran the marketing, and that's where my marketing background came from. And working with young women came from. That was my passion. Is just taking a small idea and being a nigga translator, basically, is what my ex-boyfriend used to call me. Like, taking a regular idea and breaking it down to like where just your boy on the street could understand you, because it's no different. Like selling drugs is no different than selling hats. Like it, just how are you applying the skills and the mindset that you have? So marketing was my strongest background. I fell into sneakers because I got married in a pair, and that photo was on Tumblr, and I didn't even know what the fuck Tumblr was at that time. And the owner of Kicks on Fire hit me on AOL Messenger and was like, yo, is this you? I can't find a girl, a female sneakerhead, to save my life. Are you a writer? I said yes, and he's like, do you want to write for this sneaker magazine called Kicks on Fire? And today, this is who I am.
Wow.
But this was never part of the plan.
Right.
It was never the plan, actually.
You might just be one of the luckiest people on the planet, because you keep saying that. It's like you either real lucky or you just like manifest destiny.
No, I'm not. I don't believe in luck. Like, I believe that God definitely has a design for your whole life while you're in the womb. However, I do believe that you have to meet God in the middle somewhere. And a lot of times we don't put forth our own effort, nor do we believe in ourselves to manifest our own destinies. We come from a place of a lot of fear, especially people of color, not just black people, but anybody that comes from an oppressed group definitely has some normalized PTSD. And you have a level of fear that doesn't even allow you to dream that you can be a designer. It doesn't even allow you to dream that that's even a job, or that how to even get there. What are the steps that it takes to be from here to Kanye? Right. And there's nobody there to teach you that either. So that's kind of where my passion now comes from, is I spent 10 years like telling you niggas what Jordans to buy, and like telling you what I thought was cool and what to spend your money on Saturday. And at a point, I couldn't pay my bills, and I'm like, how is this realistic? Where I'm getting run down at Foot Locker for autographed wristbands, but I can't pay my rent. Like, I got to leave this whole jam because it's not authentic. It's not, I'm not delivering messages that I believe in. So, it now is really a place of having these conversations and keeping it a buck, and like making sure that the people behind us that are so blessed to have us, as a model, because we didn't have a model. This didn't exist when we were coming up. So the people that are under us, it's our responsibility, to at least provide them the tools. If they choose to not meet God in the middle, like, that's on that nigga. Right. But like, all I can do is like, give you the tools and create a vulnerable space for you to grow.
I feel you on that. That was deep. Now, one of the things in reading about you, and if our listeners, there was a very in-depth piece written about Jazza Ray on weartesters.com. I suggest you guys, when you get a chance to, great piece. I suggest you go. Who wrote that?
Shout out to Noah on that. Noah killed that shit.
Yeah, he did. He did an excellent job putting that together. But I remember one of the things you were saying was one of the reasons you also left was because, like, you were married initially, and you ain't got to go into the relationship if you don't want to. But once you became single again, like, it was like blood in the water. Like, everybody was
Oh, like, it was crazy.
Like, kind of give...
I never been single in the business, because when I started, it was accidental. I was married.
Right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I could see your lips moving. Okay. I was married, so my ex-husband and I, when we decided to get divorced, it was kind of a way bigger thing, because he was also running Kixify at the time, which is the sister website to Kicks on Fire, which was also in Forbes this year. Like, Kixify has been fucking killing it. So the same owner of Kicks on Fire owns Kixify. And Joe, my ex-husband, he used to run Kixify. So I was really, like I said, we have a lot of fear. Like, I believed I was super great, but I was scared to tell those stories. And I honestly, part of me was like petty Jazzy, was like, fuck them niggas. Like, I don't have to tell them shit. Like, if I'm getting divorced, like, my life doesn't belong to the timeline. I don't have to say anything I don't want to. Mm-hmm. And then the other half of me was like, Nike just called you. because they want to launch an app with your family story because, it's a thing. It was like a thing that people wanted to be, like this little light-skinned family with kids and sneakers and matching outfits and finish line videos, and that thing was not a real thing for me. So I didn't know how to, like, tell those stories without telling those stories, quote unquote, or like not being emotionally slutty and going through a lot of pain. And so I would be like in my bed at night and so depressed and emo and be like trying to like we all do, right? Positive tweet your way out of some shit. Like get on the internet and like try to find every possible meme that you can find. And I'm trying to positive tweet my way out of something. And a girl who followed me on Twitter DM'd me, and she said, I was going to kill myself tonight, and I was gang raped on my campus. My mom just died. My grandma has cancer. I don't have a dad. I'm all alone. I was going to kill myself tonight, and I saw your tweets, and they saved my life. And I had a group conference call, like Google FaceTime with my 5 best friends. I cried so hard, and then I quit my job and was like, yo, that your life is a ministry, whether or not you know it and whether or not you want to stand in it. People are watching.
Right.
And you're like, yo, what the fuck? Like, I'm not ready to have somebody's, like, some young college girl's life in my hands. Like, I'm, like, 2 steps from murking myself every day.
Right.
So that really, luckily God was moving so well in my life. Like, I was being brought out here by Reebok to interview Conor McGregor for the launch of the Z, when they were doing the Z Pump. And they brought me out here for this big conference, and I got snowed in. And my ex-boyfriend, we were just friends at the time, his boss knew that he knew me and was pressing him out to bring me into the office. And I finally met with him. And they, Seth Geretsberg, who is Mark Echo's first investor on Echo, and he used to own a piece of Complex. He's huge, but I never even knew who he was. That's how sleep I was at the time. Like, I walked in there like, who the fuck is this guy? And he was asking me all these questions. And at the end of that, like, 2-hour, quote-unquote meeting, he slid me a piece of paper with 6 figures on it and was like, when you're done at Kicks on Fire, I want you to come work for me. And he said I shook Rich Antonella's hand and gave him a piece of Complex. I shook 50 Cent's hand and made him a millionaire. I just want to work with you. And he brought me here in 10 days, and my whole life changed. So it's, it's not really about being lucky. It's like pushing through fear and positioning yourself and making sure that the relationships that you have with people are integral and strong.
Right.
And, it's really about those things and making sure your spirit is strong and that you can, making sure you're ready when that call happens, because that call now has happened for me like 3 or 4 times in life.
Right.
Like they call me, hey, can you interview Kendrick Lamar tonight? Like, what the fuck, yes. But if you're not ready, then you're missing that whole opportunity.
No, I definitely hear you on that. You said something earlier about, like, if you're not getting paid, you just fucking around. And I was reading the interview you did, and you were saying that, like, some of these brands, they don't want to cut a check, but they're like, they think, okay, well, since we sent you, like, some Jordans or something, that's enough. Like, do you think, like, the brands, well, obviously the brands are going to do what they do, but do you think that we settle for that? Like, people in the community that are trying to aspire to, reach different levels, whether it's YouTube or otherwise, do you think we settle for, shit like that, like free shoes or free shirts, instead of making these brands cut us a check? Because obviously if they send us product, we hold some value to them.
Well, I think it depends on, like, there's a formula, unfortunately now at this time, but there's a formula, right? Like, you have this many photos and you have this many likes and these many people are looking at you, and then you want a brand to fuck with you, and then a brand is kind of fucking with you, and then you want a couple people to see you, and then you want to get a check, and I think a lot of people get stuck in that the brand is looking at me and I'm that nigga in my circle.
Right.
And, and so that's where, again, that, like, how prayed up are you matters, because if you don't love yourself, like, people that are in those situations, like, exactly who they are. And, you have to know your worth. Like, if that's what you think your worth is, a box of fucking sneaker wipes and maybe 1 or 2 general releases that are still sitting on the shelf every month. Like, if that's what you think your worth is, then more power to you, my G. Like, you know, and that kind, but we get stuck there too. I think we get stuck in that mentality of like we're finessing them, like we got all these people sending us whatever when they're finessing us because they need us.
Right.
Without us, there is no them.
That's true. That's true. Let me ask you this, because we were talking to you. Remember, I told you like I look at you now as like the China of sneakers. Like you might not have thought you were being a pioneer in some capacity, but you were, especially for females. Like I hate to hold on to that qualifier, but you know, back in that time when you first started out with Kicks on Fire, like it wasn't that many. Like first of all, it was still taboo, like girls in sneakers. Like back then, like nobody, like girls bought sneakers, but nobody put it together, especially
represented them.
Yeah, especially now, and like you not only represented them as far as wearing them and your knowledge of them, but like I said, you was talking to the brands, you were writing for Kicks on Fire and stuff. So like, do you sit back and do you realize how much of a pioneer you were in that regard?
I don't, because all of my friends were doing the same thing too, and they were all bitches also. So like they just, you know, were because of the way that the culture is and the things that are important to the culture. It's only few times that those women, like a light shines on those women.
Right.
But I was never, and you know, like I do believe that there is a serious lack of female representation in media when it comes to footwear and fashion, just period, and streetwear. But there were women before me, like Leah at Mob and Dying Pete, like brands that I wore, and that they were pioneers just being in the space.
Right.
And me, you know, that's who I looked at, Vashti. Like, even though she might be younger than me, that's who I was looking at, those types of careers. And I think there's a gap, you know. One thing that Punch at TDE, like, she has been, like, instrumental in helping me just kind of throughout this whole process, because, like I said, it was never, like, the goal. But one thing he kind of said to me was that there's a gap, and I believe for the regular girl. You know, I was the regular girl. I had an NFL boyfriend at 20 and a baby, and had all the Louis bags and all, like, was all over everywhere with him until he got hurt and I was alone.
Right.
You know, and so my story is no different than a lot of young brown women across in middle America to a coast. And the only women that they have now to look at is like a Karen Civil, who's boss as fuck, but she doesn't have kids. Like, she's not a relatable source for them.
Right.
And so that's where I'm just trying to fill the gap, is just trying to get them to understand, like, you could be 30. I was 33 when I moved here with 2 kids and an ex-husband. You know, so it's never too late to change your life. Right. I never thought I was a pioneer, though, because, like, she got game. And, like, there's a number of women, Esme, Sophia Chang, that were doing things, Melody Asani, in the space. I was the only one working in media, at sneaker media, though.
Right.
Like Nice Pixel, Collector, nobody else had a girl.
Well, that's
what made us different.
Well, you had that platform. I mean, true, there were other people. And, like, one of the things I told you was, like, doing the podcast and working for sneakerbardetroit.com is, you know, I got to do my research. And in doing that research, you come across different things. You come across different people. And, you know, I came across you. And I read into it, and then I saw the Weird Terrorist thing, and I talked to Nightwing, and it was like, I got to talk to her, you know, and it's like, and that's why I'm happy to have you on the show, because I feel like there are a lot of people, like you mentioned these other names, and I feel like that's the problem. Like, they don't get enough spotlight, and people don't know of these people, so therefore they're not able to give them their due respect, which is something we try to do on the show, is try to highlight that, and, you know, the reason why we're talking on the phone right now. So whether you look at it like that, like, I think a lot of people do look at you as a pioneer in some regards, you know, because you did kind of change the game. You kind of put a face on the genre of female sneakerheads, at least for a lot of people. Maybe not everyone, but for a lot of people.
I'll take that.
You'll take that?
Yeah, and I think I made it okay for a woman to like sneakers and not have her nipples out.
That's another thing too. That's why I respect you. I mean, you got your picks where you look sexy or not, but you know what I'm saying. At the same time, like you are not gonna let anybody disrespect, and you look like you hold your own, male or female. So I wouldn't want to cross you. In talking about leaving Cali and going to New York, you got rid of your collection, right?
I got rid of half of my collection. I had to because I could not afford to make the move. It costs a lot of money to do all of that. I had to give up the lease on my apartment. My little sister had totaled my car the week before, so bills I was still paying in LA. It was crazy, so I did. The perfect pair hit me. I wish I had a daddy like him. He wanted to gift his 16-year-old daughter, or she was turning 16, I think, at the time, like a collection of grails, like a special collection of grails. And I just happened to be, I am not, I've never been somebody to sell my shoes because I never purchased them to be able to turn them.
Right.
I purchased them because I wanted to keep them.
Right.
So, I just kind of put a few feelers out, would anybody be interested in buying any of these? It was a bunch of shoes I had either never worn in 5 years or were more than $1,000 resale, and I would never wear them.
Right.
And it was ridiculous for me it just didn't make sense in my life. So he came and bought 32 pairs.
Damn.
And it wasn't half of my collection, but it wasn't half of my collection. It was half of the collection that mattered to me, if that makes sense.
No, I mean, that makes a lot of sense, which makes it hard. Because we have that debate periodically on the show about, if there'll ever be a time where we would give up collections. Most notably recently, Hes Kicks gave up a huge chunk of his collection in order to pay off some debts and take better care of his family, which I respect, and God forbid there's a day where I have to give up my collection to, pay off something or whatnot. But we always have that debate. And I think, at a certain point, because it's weird thinking about being in my 70s and still having a sneaker collection, so it's in my mind, I always ask that question, okay, at some point, am I going to get rid of it because I'm too old or because I have to? So, that's something.
No, I thought that too. I thought I would never, I have a lot of pairs still, don't get me wrong, and I thought I would never, ever sell any of them. But one, life puts you in positions. Two, you get to a point where you don't dress like that anymore. I don't even wear SBs.
Right.
So I don't even dress like that anymore. I don't even be out in dunks, or LeBron. What the fuck? I'm 35. My son... It's 15. Where am I going? I don't play basketball. Where am I going that I need to wear a pair of LeBron? So it just doesn't make sense. Your mindset changes.
Jazzy, before disclaimer, we got a resident LeBron super fan in here. You done piqued his interest. You done piqued his interest. He was sitting there.
As I wear my white metallic gold LeBron 5s. Go ahead. I think the older ones, you can wear more like you would wear your Jordans. Though I think after the 10s, I think you can, they kind of look too basketball-y, but I think anything, the 9s on back, you can wear a little casually. So
the South Beach ones I wear sometimes.
Oh, yeah. It's so many double colorways. You got St. Vincent St. Mary 3s. You have his mom's favorite color was pink, so every year he dropped a pink colorway. So it's pink Zoom Generation, pink LeBron 3s. So it's a lot of dope stuff. I'll steer you the right way one day.
Earlier in the YouTube feed, you said you have one pair of LeBrons that you got from a Twitter. Someone on Twitter told you to get, or how'd that go?
Yeah. I would do stuff like that all the time to kind of increase engagement across both feeds when I was doing Kicks on Fire social media. So Finish Line had sent me a gift card. When you're an influencer with some of the brands, sometimes before you get to the check stage, they'll send you X amount of dollars on a gift card that you can spend, right? So I gotten a gift card, and really at that point, I wasn't buying shoes anymore because I was not getting excited about a lot. So I let Twitter I brought it down to two choices, and it was the Canary yellow LeBrons, or I can't remember what the other pair of shoes was, but it was a poll on Twitter, like which one should she buy? You know, you have $100 at Finish Line, what would you buy? And so they chose LeBrons, and I bought those, and I actually wear them a lot here. I didn't wear them a lot in Cali, but I do wear them a lot here because they're sturdier. They're like a little bit better for the weather, but I'm a very small girl. Like, this is the heaviest I've ever been before. I was under 100 pounds. Wow. And I have kind of big feet for being a small girl, like 7.5 feet. So LeBrons just look crazy as fuck on me. You know, and even like the only Jordans I can wear are like the 1s and the 3s. Even Dunk SBs look crazy on me. They look big on my little tiny legs. So it's just a lifestyle, you know. How your life is just different. Before, I didn't care. Like, I would wear big-ass stack houses with, like, little tiny Daisy Dukes and Eddie Bauer button-up with, like, a sports bra.
Nice.
Wouldn't even care. And scrunchy socks. And, like, that would be the jam if you're 22.
White Rangers over there desperately looking up that picture right now on Instagram.
No, I think if you look up the Zoom Generations, that was a low-profile sneaker shoe. That was LeBron's first shoe. I've seen a couple around your size on eBay for a really good price. So, like, those are, you probably start off if you want to wear something more sleeker or try those.
On my starter kit. That's for my LeBron starter kit.
LeBron starter kit, yeah.
I wish we had met you, like, a year ago because we were in New York. Like, what was that, last November?
That was November, yeah. That was an event. You could have wrote a
yes.
piece on us.
She would have added to that event, too. That would have been, can you imagine?
Yes, you could have wrote a piece on us.
Oh, man.
Carrying equipment. We getting bumped by
I had to walk, like, 52 New York City blocks for, like, an input piece for a headphone.
Man, Bossy paid $45 for the parking.
Man, yeah. New York was not
Man, they
my
put us behind
city.
a DJ at SneakerCon. It was eventful.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I mean, if you guys are from Detroit, like, I went to Detroit and Ohio with my ex, and everything is so cheap and ridiculous. Like, parking's like $5 in the city. So I can imagine that it was a shock when you got here. And
please
like,
don't put Ohio and Detroit in the same
bridge
sentence
is
again.
$15.
Hey, you can't be dissing Ohio. Now that I work in Ohio now, even though I'm Michigan,
I can diss Ohio.
I'm talking about Caesar. Caesar.
I will continue to diss Ohio.
You can't diss Ohio like that.
Why
man.
I can't? Because you work there now?
Yes, okay. That's why you can't. But my question for you, Jazzy, is I've kind of been, when I talk to my employees who are, you know, vastly younger than me, probably between 18 and 25 years old, and I engage in some of the sneaker community, sneaker kind. Sometimes I come off like the old guy, even though I'm not the old, like get off my line type guy. When it comes to the sneakers, I feel like I already preach on here all the time that the game is missing nostalgia and it's all about hype. So I think that's why the older sneakerheads kind of looks with a side eye towards the newer generation. It's because these kids now just buying things because it's popular, not knowing their history or why should you like this shoe.
Right.
Or if you buy this shoe right now, are you still going to like it 10 years from now?
Right. No.
Oh, yeah, like all those kids that look like they stepped out of a I want to fuck with your vision meme. Like with, yeah, I know. It's a whole generation. I mean, my son is one of them. Like, my son literally came to me and was like, yo, he wanted an increase on his allowance. I said, well, why don't you start posting some of these hats so we can start selling something? Like, you want to blow a band? Like, we got to start selling some more products. Help me.
Right.
Like, you're 15. That's your demographic. So he's like, my friends will only buy things that, like, stars wear. I said, boy, like, Fab, Sally, MGK, like, those aren't stars. Like, they've worn my products. They're stars. And he's like, oh, you know, like, Ace Boogie or Ace Boogie with the, whatever the, what is that kid's name?
It's Ace Boogie with the hoodie.
Jazzy, we in the same boat with that.
Yeah,
like,
we kind of same thing, man.
Right.
I argue with little kids
like,
wearing young thugs wearing dresses,
yes.
and one person told me
we all getting pushed out to sea right now.
Little Uzi is more influential.
That's what he told me. Is he in it? Did he wear it? I said no, but you know, but he said, well, he's a freshman or something. Like, we only want to buy things that freshmen wear. I said, my hat was in the freshman issue last year, boy. Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm.
It's so crazy that you gotta have that. You go from being a parent to like arguing with a hype beast in your own house. Like that's
my own hype.
Yeah,
my own personal hype beast.
But she has a closet full of Supreme though, so I don't know.
It's crazy. You know.
I got a question for you though, because I know you're a huge De La Soul fan. How dope was it when you got invited to the studio and they asked you for an autograph?
Oh, wow. You know, that was super dope because Paz and I, we met on Twitter. Like, it's just super dope for me because it's just God. Like, it's just, that's what makes it the ultimate win for me is when you have the organic converse. Like, I'm already juiced to be talking to him on Twitter. Then he's like, yo, can you help me with the show? Like, just pick some pieces because he's older than me. So I was like swaggy to him back then. I think I was like 25, maybe 26. And so he was with somebody. I was married at that time, still professional. Like, went shopping, introduced him to a bunch of shops, like on Fairfax and Melrose, and dressed him for fucking Coachella, which I didn't realize at that time. And then he was a moderator on a sneaker forum. Like, he was heavy. He is a real life SB collector, fucking no games playing sneakerhead. Like, he really is about it. And so he knew I was a hip hop fan. And so he was like, every time he was in town, I would take him shopping, and then we would hang afterwards. We'd go like to an event or something like that. And then one day he came and was like, yo, I'm in the studio. Can you bring your book? The Girls Got Kicks book had just dropped. And that was a book out of female sneaker scene. And Lori Loberstein did that book with a photographer named Amanda Lopez and Jen Twice. And that book was out. I wore the day laws. He said, bring a book. And I came, and he's like, can you sign it for me? And it was my only copy. I didn't even have another copy, but I did. And I just bought myself another one after. I signed it for him. I bought it for him. And then they were working on their next album. It was the craziest, like, experience ever of all time because I used to want to kind of if I did have any writing dreams, it was to write at the source.
Right.
Or, you know, something like a magazine I grew up reading. That I never imagined I would be in XXL twice, but not writing anything for some shit I designed.
Right.
Like, that is not a W for me.
And what was it like being sued by Frank Thomas? What was that whole situation like?
I cried because I really thought I was going to be in trouble. And I literally was just copying a press release. Like, you guys know, you probably get a bunch of releases from brands.
Yep.
And you copyright them just like everybody at fucking Soul Collector to everybody else does.
Mm-hmm.
And you write it in your own words. And he was named in the press release, so I named him in my article.
Right.
And it was years later, like 5 years later. And Khan, the owner of Kicks on Fire, he texted me a copy of he had been served, and I was named in the suit in my article and saying I was like saying things that weren't true because he was mad because he didn't get a check from Reebok. So now he's tight.
Yeah,
now he's coming for all the little guys. You know?
The big hurt, right?
For me, but Khan, over the big hurt. But Khan, like, he took care of everything for me, and that was why, you know, I made $5 an article at Kicks on Fire. Like, no
big
shame.
Baller,
you know,
damn.
Baller. Yeah, all right, $5.
Were you walking out with?
I mean,
were you walking out with the big cardboard checks that they give out to like game show contestants?
Well, I'll tell you that, like, in the beginning, I was banging those articles out, like $2,500 a month worth of sneaker articles.
Wow.
And then it severely slowed down, and I had no passion for it. I hated it, you know, and then it got to a point where the brand was paying me more to come host a party and for 2 photos than I was making at Kicks on Fire all month.
Right.
And so that showed me that I was being finessed. Not by Kicks on Fire, but by the media system in general.
Right. Well, you know what? Next time we're in New York, we're definitely going to hang out because rumor has it you roll some of the best blunts.
I do roll up. Like, I do. I do.
Good thing no police listening.
Hey. Catch us. Catch us first.
Caesar.
Gotta catch us first.
Yeah, you could say a landscaping or something.
Nope. I mean, look at the picture. She ain't hiding it. I ain't gotta hide it.
Oh my
God. I mean, I'm not. I roll great. Yes. I prefer backwood.
So
I'm down, and I'm down to hang.
Oh, well, we gonna party.
We say on the radio.
Sneaker guy, you hear that? We going to New York this year. Make it happen. we going to New York and just getting high as hell with Jazzy.
When's the last time you been to a sneaker con? Or do you plan on going to any of them?
See, I actually don't, because that's kind of one of those things about knowing your worth, right? I had a relationship with Dunk Exchange, and there used to have to be a reason for me to come. So now because Dunk Exchange showed me my worth, I do work with Dunk Exchange. I continue to work with them a lot on a lot of other separate stuff. But if you want me to come to a sneaker con, there's got to be a check involved.
Well, okay, wait, talk about.
Otherwise, what am I coming to SneakerCon for?
Come for us.
Say what's up to us.
Yeah. We have a table set up.
Yeah, we do a live show.
It's usually by the bathroom or by the escalator.
Yeah,
by the exit.
If there's a live show and we're broadcasting live, that's a reason to go. Most definitely. But other than that, I don't have a reason to just be going to SneakerCon on a Saturday and hanging out looking to see who has a table. I'm 35. My son wants to go to SneakerCon with his friends.
Right. No, most definitely. We'll be your reason. We'll be your excuse to go.
Yay, that'll be exciting.
I got to ask you this real quick before we go, because I've been dying to ask you this all show. You were talking about earlier about the women, and you want them to have more prominent roles that matter outside of just posting pictures and getting likes. And I wanted to ask you, because you got Rihanna, and you see the things she's doing with Puma. What are your thoughts on that? And do you think that going forward, do you have to be a celebrity of Rihanna's caliber, or will they start opening the door for more female designers and brand influencers to make more decisions like that?
I think the question is, the brand has to understand who they're talking to.
Yeah.
And I think there's a big gap in communication as far as the brand really understanding the person that they're talking to and what kind of messaging needs to be delivered, if that makes sense.
No, I get what you're saying.
But other than that,
but I'm taking you love what she's doing, though.
Yeah, I do, but I also am so far removed from sneakers, but it's giving me an appreciation from it, for it. Right now, the only thing sneaker-related that I actively work on is McLaren's Kick Shop, and that's because we are good friends. Randy, the owner, and I are good friends, and I miss being in the community, but I don't miss being necessarily a paid voice in the community.
Right.
So now I think there are a bunch of dope female designers at Nike. There's a bunch of dope creatives and women in corporate positions and that have voices. But now we have a seat at the table, but generally we are the only one at the table.
Right.
And that's when I think the more that we, my main hat in my shop says girls compete, women empower, the more that we do empower each other and work together, the more seats will be pulling up at those tables.
Right. I got to ask you a favor, though, real quick. Can you do us, can we record an ID real quick for the show with you?
Yeah.
So just be
Sure, what do you want me to do?
Just be like, this is, you want to go by your social media handle, or you want to go by your real name, Jazzy Ray?
Jazzy is fine.
Okay. So just be like, this is Jazzy, and you're listening to the Sneaker Boss Podcast on Sneaker Bar Detroit.
On Sneaker Bar Detroit. Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
You ready?
Yep.
Hey, this is Jazzy, and you are listening to the Sneaker Box Podcast on Sneaker Bar Detroit.
First take.
Thank you.
Hey, you did, just so you know, not that it's a competition, you did way better than any of your male counterparts. Everybody else had 3 or more takes. You did it on 1, so. Real quick.
Okay, great.
Noah said this on the thing, and I just wanted to say this on the air because I think it embodies who you are. He said, someone once said that survival of the fittest isn't really about who's the most fit. It's about who's the most adaptable. And I think that fits you, especially when you read about what you've been through, I think that fits you to a T.
Thank you so much. I think it is. It's not about how many times you fall down, it's how you get up. And I think a lot of times we focus on all of these epic things that happen to us, I did this, and I did this, and I did this, but we don't talk about that valley of fuckery that happened right before that happened to you, that great thing happened to you.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And that's where really all the magic happens, is in those moments where you're on your knees and you really don't feel comfortable or safe talking to anybody except God. And it's in those moments that we make changes, you know. So I'm grateful for everything, and I've lost a lot, but I don't think I left behind anything that I need today. And I think we all already have everything that we need. We just have to keep going.
Gotcha.
Most definitely.
That's
So definitely happy to have you on the show. Like I said, you will become quickly in my top 5 favorite people in the sneaker community. Do not be a stranger. We would love to have you back on the show in the future. We will be hanging out with you in New York whenever we go back. As always, we love you, Ms. Jazzaray.
Yeah.
Thanks, you guys. Have a good night.
You too. Thank you. Take care.
Once again, that was Jazzaray Allen Lord. Man, once again, too many accomplishments to like fucking go over, man. But like basically, the director or former director of operations at Kicks on Fire, former director of media at Slam Hype, former public relations manager and project manager at High Times. I forgot to ask her about that. Well, we asked her about the blunt, so I guess that. Brand influencer, pioneer, lady sneakerhead, whether she likes it or not. And the author of the book For Creative Souls Who Have Considered Suicide When the Art Wasn't Enough. Definitely check out that book. Also, definitely check out
the Wear Tester.
Yeah, on
article back in April.
weartesters.com. Yes.
Great read.
Great. So, okay, we're going to do a couple plugs, and then we'll be right back with, 1-star sneaker reviews. Yay!
Barry White Ranger here. You all know that I entertain a great deal, and when I am out and trying to make my best impression, my ensemble is never complete without a really great pair of sneaks. Like me, you can keep your kicks in the best shape possible, simply with Crep. Just a spray or two of Crep, a quick brushing, and voila. Yeah, that was French. And my sneaks are protected from spaghetti, or a fine bottle of Chianti, or even a splash of mud while I help my special lady out of her chariot as we make our way back to my humble abode. You may not entertain as much as I have the opportunity to, but when you do, make sure that what you got on your feet looks its best. With Crep. Take it from Barry White Ranger. You won't be sorry, and neither will she.
It's your boy DJ Clark Kent, Brooklyn's finest, New York Giant, the ATF General. You are listening to Sneaker Box Podcast on SneakerBarDetroit.com.
The stuff that goes on in the studio sometimes. We got a bunch of. I know people have been asking me too, like, when you gonna do another Yelp 1-star review? All right, so I'm gonna do some. We just came from Santa Clara. This is a Foot Locker out in Stevens Creek Boulevard. This one reads, rude, dismissive employee with glasses asked if they had a shoe by showing him a picture. He glanced and with the low, dismissive voice said, no. Also, took a while to be greeted. Josh A. This next one reads, don't go here. We called to ask about 2 things. 1, what time they were closing. 2, if our order, placed online, had arrived in the store. Unfortunately, only our first question was addressed before we could even ask them the second question. Exchange went like this. Foot Locker. Me. Yes, hello. What time did you close tonight? Foot Locker. Inaudible. Blank o'clock. Me. Oh, sorry? Foot Locker. Okay. Is there anything else? No? Great. Bye. I was floored. I called back immediately. Foot Locker. Welcome to Foot Locker. Me. Yes, it would be awesome if you didn't hang up on us next time, since we actually had another question. Foot Locker. Through his teeth. How can I help you today, sir? Me. Well, I ordered a pair of socks online, and I wanted to know if they had arrived in the store yet. Foot Locker, still talking through his teeth. If the website says it's there, it's here, okay? Me. I guess it was just ... He didn't say a word. Foot Locker. Okay, thanks. Have a great day, sir. Needless to say, I won't be associating myself with these idiots again. And any place that allows the staff to be this rude, inconsiderate, and disrespectful should go bankrupt. SN. This is, okay, so we're supposed to be going to Chicago soon, so I guess this is apropos. The Nike brand store on Michigan Avenue. What?
That's just what you're about to say.
I know, right? I hate Nike Town, Chicago. Your customer service fucking sucks balls. Seriously. Seriously. I can get my gear elsewhere. But since I was down there today, I figured I'd grab a few new things. Bad idea. First, I go up to the women's section, and remembering that they had a restroom, I wanted to wash my hands. I barely get to the door, and a short Hispanic salesman barks at me, "Closed," while walking away. Really? Because my ass can't read the 2 signs that say restroom closed? Asshole.
Nothing to do with the product.
The little asshole then proceeded to chase around a European couple carrying an envelope of items so he could put his employee number on them to get the sale. Yet, didn't ask them once if they needed help finding anything. Are you kidding me? So then I go downstairs to grab the socks I wanted. I stood waiting for 10 minutes next to the shoes and socks to see if anyone would help me. All I want to know is if they carried the largest size. For 10 minutes, no one even approached me. For the record, I was about to purchase a gang load if they had them. And prepare, these suckers are $16. Where's the little asshole wanting to up his sales quota now, JT?
JT's
wow.
aggressive.
Right. Oh, this one is funny.
They should be screening. Like, Yelp should be able to screen something.
I mean, it's funny. I'm saying, Yelp, don't screen. This shit is hilarious. Thanks for letting someone make not 1, but 2 fraudulent purchases with my debit card info and being rude as hell when I contacted you about it. Way to be proactive about the situation. You obviously didn't check ID. So
that should definitely be the keep hit the screen. That should definitely be the Capital One commercial.
Yes. Oh man.
Have Sam Jackson read that.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Dear Nike Town, I try to avoid you whenever possible, but yes, I will come visit you because you're easy. You're in every.
Whoa. We know girls you like.
You're in every major U.S. city. You're in every major U.S. city's main shopping district, and you carry a lot of stock. Your staff and service usually sucks, but hey, it's a one-stop shop, and we don't have legit Nike Towns in Canada. Eh? I don't like you, but I like your product. Your Chicago branch is pretty typical of all the Nike Towns I've been to. Multi-level shopping group by sport. The staff is a little bit less aloof than other Nike Towns I've been to. And I like the clearance section with all the sweet Nike sportswear gear. However, I hope you realize how ironic it is that you stock tees printed with support your local sneaker shop. Really, Nike Town? Really? It's like Starbucks trying to rebrand itself as local mom and pop coffee shop. Oh wait, Starbucks is doing that. Shit. I put up with your crappy retros and your box set releases, and morons like me made you the biggest sportswear company in the world. But please, don't treat us like retards. Regards, Johnson C. This one is long as fuck, and it's the Foot Locker on Oxford Street in London. You know, I'm about to go there. Damn. Man, and you know what? Let me just say this too, because I tried looking up like shitty Yelp reviews for, stores over in London. People in the UK are just too polite. Like even when they're like bitching about a store, it's like the nicest like tear down of it. Like it was too polite. It was like, okay, but this one was great. Believe me, I do not hand out 1 stars lightly. And if I could have awarded nil points, I quite possibly would have done it for this shoddy example of customer service. All I can say is that from my experience of Foot Locker in his homeland, the American Foot Locker would be horrified that their British cousins are bringing down the good name of Foot Locker in such a manner. Yeah, okay. After always keeping clear of Foot Locker on previous occasions, I decided to brave it, thinking, what's the big deal? Especially on a Sunday. Little did I know, I went upstairs, and after pretty much finding what I was after straight away, I waited and waited and waited to be served. Bear in mind there were sales associates at hand and only a few customers, so this could not have been an issue. Finally, an assistant asked if I was okay. So I handed him 2 pairs of trainers, 1 Converse and 1 Adidas, and asked him if I could try them in a 7 or an 8. I know, I have clown feet, canoes, etc. Bring it on! His response to me was, well, how about we measure your feet? This both impressed and excited me. Remember when you were little and got your feet measured? It was so cool. That is, until he finished his sentence with, to make it easier for me. He literally put E-R-M. Forgive me, Foot Locker? But shouldn't it be about what's easier for me
And what I want? Anyway, after a good 5 minutes, I begin to wonder if he gonna make the shoe. He returns with a 6.5. What the heck? I questioned this, and he said as the shoe was a softer one, it allows for more room. I said, but it's not gonna make my foot shrink to that size, is it? After having to prove that my foot would not indeed shrink.
Pause. Converse's run huge, so him bringing the 6.5 might have done him some favor. And as a manager, when coaching staff, if we don't have to bring your size, bring up a size up or down, because certain shoes don't always fit true to size. There you go, all the way from the States, Mike. Go ahead.
There you go. Thank you, Mike. Hello, Gardner. After having to prove that my foot would not indeed shrink, he then told me the other shoe was out of stock and went on to recommend others. So I stupidly agreed to 2 others. Only one of those was in stock, so I tried it on. Good news, it fitted well and looked good. Happy days. Until I got home, that is. When I got home, I realized that I'd been charged €2 more. The price on the receipt was €2 more than that on the shoe. I was so annoyed that I promptly decided on principle that I was going to return them. I went on my lunch break today and K'd again for 10 minutes, like he's downloading or something. First at 1 till, when I was told to go downstairs. After the assistant asked me what the refund was for, and I explained, she said, "Oh yeah, that's because our prices have gone." E-R-R, and you thought you'd not tell anyone and have a misrepresented price advertised until people realize, if at all? I replied, "I'm not being funny. I know this isn't your fault, and you're just saying what you've been told to say. But this is completely unacceptable, and you can't have 2 different prices." She said, "If you want, go downstairs and speak to a manager." Dear, oh dear. I went downstairs, caged for another 10 minutes. Goodbye, lunch break. Clearly, as long as they're making money, Foot Locker won't care. Oh, this is a chick, Natalie P. Well, she read it like that. She wrote it in her pompous male voice. So yeah, that's some of the 1-star Yelp reviews for this week. We got a story that I do want to get to. You brought it up. This Week in Stupid. I'm trying to find it real quick. Go through my notes. All right.
Are you stupid or something? Mama says stupid is as stupid does.
Okay, well, I'm going to read these two. Oh, wow. Okay. Companies are still making knockoff Yeezy 750s. An article written by Brandon Richard for Soul Collector. Specialty retailer Rue 21, which makes casual...
It's pronounced Gordon.
Which makes casual apparel and accessories for young men and women, is selling his own version of the Yeezy 750 online. Listed as the strapped high top, cool name. The faux suede shoe features a Yeezy 750 inspired design coupled with a rubberized outsole. Grand black colorways are available for $35 each. You know, if you're only spending $35 or $25, it's going to be a ripoff and it's going to be shitty material. Along with the buy one get one 50% off deal at Rue21.com. So it's not only is it $35, but it's buy one get one 50% off. They're also selling Ultra Boost NMD inspired runners with Fall Boost soles for the same price. Rappers start beef with sneaker store on social media. An article written by Brandon Doon for Soul Collector. New York rap veterans Jadakiss and Styles P have been airing their grievances with independent sneaker chain social status on Instagram and Twitter, registering complaints of poor customer service. But the store's owner, James Whitner, says its manager followed proper procedures and that the rappers were upset about not being able to buy limited product early. According to James, Jadakiss is a frequent customer at the social status store in Charlotte, North Carolina. He says that Jada came by on March 24th, mentioning that he was leaving town the next morning and wanted to come shop at the store before his departure. James says the store manager agreed to let Jada and his entourage in early the next morning, but mentioned that they wouldn't be allowed to buy the Master Air Max 1. Come the next morning, they were asking for the Master Air Max 1s. The store manager refused, despite being heckled by Jada's entourage. James said, "We got kids outside. The kids camped out back all night. The kids are now going crazy because they think we're selling Jadakiss shoes early, and in actuality, we're not. So one of the people on my team went out and said they weren't selling them any shoes early. A rep for Jadakiss did not immediately respond to a request for comment, but in an Instagram post on March 25th, Jadakiss and Styles P said that they understood not being able to buy the shoes, but felt they were treated poorly. Then the next day, they posted a video on social media the next day praising the social status store in, what's this, Raleigh? Raleigh. After seeing the post from the Raleigh store, James was surprised to find the rappers disparaging his business on social media again almost 2 weeks later. So they're like bipolar with it. Despite the social media shot sent toward him and his social status stores, James is sticking with his conviction to serve regular customers first over celebrities. It's those customers, he says, who mean more to him than any rapper cosign. James said his kids sleep in the rain and all the elements for these shoes, and we're supposed to grant celebrities access for the stuff the kids line up for the day before. They're disrespecting everything that this is built on. I actually, a round of applause for him for actually standing up and saying that, because a lot of people would just take the money or the cosign, as he said.
Yeah.
Jadakiss has since sent out a new tweet saying the previous tweet criticizing social status was sent out in error. So Jadakiss out here like Donald Trump with Twitter. He says the issue was taken care of the same day it happened. His previous tweet criticizing social status has since been deleted. So, wherever you want to take, however you want to take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah. It's like a double-edged sword, because sometimes the publicity from a celebrity does help tremendously. That's why brand signs them, but you still want to respect your everyday clientele.
Right. I guess I'll read this last one. Teen steals sneakers, gets their house shot up, and gets caught. Wow.
Oh, boy.
Man. In an article written by Amir Ismail for Soul Collector, 3 Illinois teens, one 16-year-old and 2 17-year-olds, made a deal on Facebook to purchase 2 pairs of Air Jordans for $175 each, with the plan to steal the sneakers upon meeting up. The 3 teens arranged to meet up with a 22-year-old man, a 17-year-old, and a 15-year-old at an address on Pine Street in Joliet, Illinois.
It's
Joliet?
pronounced Gordon.
God damn it. The meetup went bad when the teens handed over a roll of 10 single dollar bills. Instead of the thinnest rolled up piece of money, instead of the agreed upon $350. When they were asked about the rest of the money, the 16-year-old snatched a pair of Jordans. One of the 17-year-olds pulled a gun, and the other 17-year-old grabbed the second pair of shoes and punched the 15-year-old in the face.
You gotta be shitting me! You can't keep me cooped up in here, okay?
Yes, they can.
I'm a peacock.
It's called jail.
You gotta let me fly!
Nope, should have stole those shoes. While the robbers fled on foot, the victims called the police to respond to the scene. Before officers could arrive to the scene, Joliet police received reports of a nearby shooting on Spring Street. When police arrived at that home, they learned that a single shot was fired at the house, penetrating the walls. When investigating the scene, the 3 teens were found inside with the 2 pairs of sneakers and a flare gun that resembled...
Oh, if you like prison food and penis.
resembled a 9mm pistol. The 3 teens were identified by the victims and taken to River Valley Juvenile Detention Center. The shooter has yet to be identified or apprehended. Can we please stop doing stupid shit over sneakers, please, for me? Let's just stop. In any
Where
event,
the parents at? Because these are happening at the houses. Where's the in my mem them voice? Where were the parents at?
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know. We keep it moving. Let's get to these release dates. Brought to you by Sneaker Bar Detroit, the #1 source of sneaker news and release dates. Let me see. Upcoming Wednesday, May 24th, you have the Woodwood Special Edition Asics Tiger Gel DS Trainer OG. That will be sold exclusively at Woodwood locations. A general release is scheduled for Saturday, May 27th. You also have the Air Jordan Retro 2 Deconstructed Mint Foam. I actually like that. And to be honest, I'm going to have that custom. I'm going to go to Illionaire and have them black out certain parts. Because I think they should have did that. Like, I get first of all, I'm tired of the whole one color thing. That shit is played out.
What?
Like, just one color, everything, like the entire shoe.
Because the clothing is monochrome. That's why.
I know. This shit is played out. Like, get creative. Y'all paying these designers to do what? So what I'm going to do is...
You might be able to go down in size in those, too.
And what shoe?
That deconstructed
The deconstructed twos. Actually, I like the deconstructed twos more than I like the deconstructed ones. Certain silhouettes are built for that, and I think the twos are excellent. So I'm going to get those mint foams and black out like the midsole, and then like the back heel counter. No.
You're giving too much away right now.
No, so I just recorded. Is there so I can just like say, hey, look, I said it on this show on this date. Thursday, May 25th, you have the Nike SB Dunk Low Reverse Reese Forbes Week. You have the Nike Air More Up Tempo Bordeaux. That will be available at Sneakers and Stuff. A stateside release has yet to be scheduled. You have 2 colorways of the Nike ACG 07 KMTR, and that is the Golden Beige and the Cool Gray. Friday, May 26th, you have the Nike Air More Up Tempo Triple White, the Nike Air Max 2 Up Tempo 94 Triple White, the Nike Air Max Up Tempo 95 Triple White, the Nike Air Max Up Tempo Triple White, the Jordan Fly 89 Black and White. I know a lot of people are just dying to get those. You have the Nike KD9 Elite Dark Gray Hyper Orange, the Air Jordan 31 Midnight Navy, and the Nike KD10 Anniversary. And can I just say this?
You about to say it? I think you about to say it.
Go ahead.
That is the laziest follow-up to a previous Nike signature shoe on the face of the earth. I have the Nike KD with my old store. I got them in my new store now. The KD9 Elite. The only thing you did was cut the fly wire near the top. You brought the loops loop down.
Thank you.
And you cut the ankle collar, made it a little bit lower. You moved the Nike sole down. That is it. They still got the upper laces. They still got the flywheel thick. You still got the same Zoom Air unit. Oh, my freak. Only way I can get this a pass, if KD say upon their official release, he said, I love the KD9 so much, I wanted it almost to carry into the 10. That's the only way I can get that pass, because that's a player's preference.
I wouldn't even give it a
shoe.
I
He got
get
to hoop in that shoe. But this is the laziest follow-up.
Lazy. I'm like, why? Like, because they said 10, I'm like, I call Alan, our web guy, and I'm like, okay, there's been a mistake. We put 10 instead of 9. He was like, no, that's the 10. He showed me the press release. And I was just like you. I'm like, wait a minute. So the 10 looks exactly like the 9 minus like a different feature. Once again, this is the vanilla ice theory where if you change one little thing, it somehow makes the shoe completely different, right? And so I was just as angry as you. I'm like, I mean, what the fuck, dude? Like, I was mad when Jordan Brand continued the outsole, midsole of the, was that 29 over to the 30s, right? I was mad about that, but at least they had the decency to give you 2 different uppers. This is complete, like, it's the same shoe, like the exact same shoe. And I don't look, Nike, man. If you're gonna pay your designers to do this shit, I can do that for you easily.
Lazy,
half the price too.
So lazy.
Jeez Christ, man. Just give me some mags. I got you.
I be buying so much older stuff nowadays, bro, because this is for the same exact reason, to avoid the disappointment.
Let me just keep moving because I'm gonna get mad. Saturday, May 27th, you have the Air Jordan Retro 11 Low Barons, the Air Jordan Retro 11 Low GS Blue Moon, the Nike LeBron 14 Red Carpet, the Nike LeBron 14 Limited Triple Black. You have the Overkill Special Edition Adidas EQT Coat of Arms Pack. That's the global release. You have the Avenue Special Edition Adidas Consortium EQT 9316 Support Pack. You have the Lening Way of Way 5 Black Sand, the Tit-Olo Special Edition Diodora Intrepid Wedding Almonds. That's exclusively at Tit-Olo. And I know people tell me I'm saying that wrong, but I'm saying it right according to myself.
It's pronounced.
I don't care. I think it should be pronounced Tit-Olo.
It's pronounced
Tit-Olo. Vans. You also have the Vans Jungle Floral Jacquard collection and the general release of the Woodwood Special Edition A6 Tiger Gel DS Trainer OG. Tuesday, May 30th, you have the Adidas Pure Boost DPR Multicolor. Wednesday, May 31st, you have the Adidas Ultra Boost 3.0 Limited Bronze, the Adidas Pure Boost Night Cargo. You have 3 colorways of the Nike Air Zoom Flight 95 Premium. That's the Mushroom, Black Sail, and Pearl Pink. Thursday, June 1st, the Minions Special Edition Puma Footwear Collection. You have the Nike Air Vapor Max Day to Night Collection. That collection is dope. The Nike KD10, Still KD, Still KD9. That's what it should be.
Yes,
right,
correct answer.
That's what it should be.
Answer.
Just you missing a 9 off that name. You have the Nike Cortez Long Beach. That's what I'm gonna start calling them. The Nike KD10, Still KD9. Nike Cortez Long Beach. That's actually pretty dope. You have the Adidas Ultra Boost 3.0 Gray 4. And you have 2 colorways of the Nike LeBron 13 Low Premium, Teen Red, and Anthracite.
The burgundy one looks nice. I think I'm going to get that.
With the gun bottle?
Yeah.
Saturday, June 3rd, you have the Air Jordan Retro 7 Pure Platinum. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not really feeling any of these Pure Platinum colorways.
All white Jordans been sitting. Nobody's going to pay $200 for an all white shoe. You get a Huarache for $110, a Presto for $120, Air Force One for $90. Nobody's going to pay that for an all white shoe.
And here's the thing, though.
And the leather and the quality is amazing. And I thought the Forge quality was trash compared to what it used to be in the 99 and the 2001.
Not to mention, even if the quality was great, the thing about those shoes, especially with the Fords, it seems like it turns off white quickly and it throws off the entire look of the shoe. Yep. So that it never really sat well with me. But also Saturday, June 3rd, you have the Nike Kobe AD NXT Triple Black. You have the Nike LeBron Soldier 11 White Metallic Gold Black. The Nike Kobe AD Big Stage, and the Nike Kyrie 3 Obsidian. There are some shoes you should look out for. They are coming out soon, but they have no official release dates. You have the Under Armour Curry 4, the Weekend Special Edition Puma XO, the Adidas Ultra Boost Mid Run Through Time, the Adidas Ultra Boost 4.0 Triple White, the Adidas EQT Support 9317 Royal. Kith has a collaboration with Adidas Soccer. They have a collection coming out. The Nike Hyperdunk 2017 Low, the Nike Air Diamond Turf Emerald, the Nike Flyknit Racer Be True, the Nike Air Vapor Max Be True.
It's pronounced Gordon.
The Nike Air Shake Indestruct Royal Blue. I guess that's supposed to be the Pistons colorway, I guess. The Off-White collection. The Nike KD10 Oreo, the Nike LeBron Soldier 11, some unknown colorway. I didn't put it there. The Air Jordan Retro 1 High OG Flyknit Bread. Can we stop with this shit too? Jordan Brand, stop. Okay, look, if you didn't learn from Reebok and if you didn't learn from your past history, quit bastardizing the Retro 1. Stop. Okay, it doesn't need Flyknit. It doesn't need Huarache booties. It doesn't need any of that shit. Just give me a Retro 1 with Nike Air, man. Stop.
Or how about you just bring out some more retro colors? The other one, you hoarding this retro one. You could be bringing out some Chartreuse 14s.
Have you seen the Flyknit?
Yeah, I seen it. Bro.
They look like knitted, like my grandmother made them.
The Flyknit ones are weird.
There's so many other shoes you could bring out. Bring out some retro 18s.
Who thought that was a good
idea?
idea?
Bring out the 17s. You know what I'm saying? I'll actually shout out to those trophy 17s. They about to run the trophy room 17s.
Yeah,
they about to drop those.
Man, whoever made that shoe need to be moved to the Honduras Nike headquarters.
I'm gonna so it's gonna come back to find you.
Right. You got the Air Jordan Retro 11 Low IE, Midnight Navy, and Fire Red. I ain't really feeling those Fire Reds. Maybe I gotta see them in person. The Air Jordan Retro 8 Alternate Bread.
That's another lazy one.
Yeah, that's trash.
You took the chromates and slapped the red on the bottom.
Basically, that's essentially what they did.
Man,
the silver is like matte silver. It's not even metallic.
And it's like a fuzzy suede, like Fuzzy the Bear, like Waka Waka on Sesame Street. I mean, what was that? Muppets.
Muppet baby.
You could have gave Jumpman Bossy that colorway and let him design that shoe.
Real talk. I don't know why he ain't got a shoe yet. Ain't letting everybody else rock him. The Air Jordan Retro 1 High OG Triple Black, the Air Jordan Retro 5 Premium Triple Black, the Air Jordan Retro 5 Blue Suede, and the PSNY Air Jordan Retro 12 Wheat. There are also a number of shoes releasing overseas with no set release date for here in the States. Maybe I might come across some when I go over. You got the Asics Gel Light 3 Ranru Pack, the Puma Blazer Glory Soft, the Reebok Pump Supreme Triple White and Triple Black, the Adidas Y3 Pure Boost Triple Black, the Nike LeBron 14 Agamat, and the Air Jordan
May
Retro.
26 is the release for that.
Over here?
That's on Nike sneakers app.
Nice.
It's only come out in the Philippines, but you can buy it in the Philippines Nike stores or the Nike sneakers app.
Nice. The Air Jordan Retro 1 High Camo Pack. That's goddamn. You know what? That's another thing. I was so over that pack. Like the camo.
It's 3M, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't care. See, that's the thing. These brands think, okay, if we can just throw some tumbled leather and some 3M, and they'll eat the shit up. I'm like, no, I don't.
That's because kids be buying anything.
Shiny.
Back in the day, if it was trash, we didn't buy it. We made sure our friends didn't buy it to send a message to the brands.
You got clown back in the day. People don't clown each other no more because they're fashionable. Anyway, stay tuned to SneakerBarDetroit.com for more sneaker news and release dates. And y'all know what time it is.
Yes, you all do know what time it is. Oh, first of all, I gotta thank you. There may have been some mix-up. I did get the ticket under my office door the other day for London.
Ah.
The only problem was it appears it's a bus ticket, and it says London, Ontario. And just some mix-up. I'm sure you can get it straightened out.
We'll get that straightened out. I mean, it's just a simple swap of the bus ticket for the airplane ticket, right?
Because there's a couple of birds over there waiting for me.
Hey.
Damn.
Hey.
Yes. Cheeky little things. Yes. And I do this incredible chimney sweep impersonation, and they love it there.
Real quick, I got to ask you this. Somebody tagged you in a video.
Did I have my clothes on or no?
I'm gonna repost it tonight.
Do please,
Yeah.
as long as my clothes are on.
It was a video when you had hair back in the day.
What?
Yeah, somebody found video of you.
Come on.
And allegedly you were some type of performer, some type of singer.
Well,
Did you see
thought
it?
I paid enough people to
I'm gonna repost
keep
it
that hidden. I don't know.
I know, it had to go back in the archives for that one.
Did I have glitter on?
No, not in this video.
Not in that one. Okay. Well, let's move on anyway. This is the Sneakerbox Podcast, Lady Sneakerheads of the Week, brought to you by Dee Dee Negron and her Kick It with Dee Dee 365 project. If I were to look for that, Francis, where would I find that? You get a little help. Caesar, where would I find that?
Instagram.
Of course, that's where I would find it. You failed today.
Instagram.
Thank you. Much better.
He's too busy watching sports.
He was probably watching my video. That's the problem. So I have to give a couple of shouts. Got to give a shout to Sarah. She is so sexy, and her name is like lots of extra letters, and that really turns me on. My favorite Florida lake. I got to give a shout to Okeechobee. Wait, no, I'm sorry.
It's pronounced Gordon.
Did I do that to myself?
Yes.
Wow. Oh no, it's Ocho Kiki. I hope she's Hawaiian and she can lay me later. I'm just saying. She's sweet as taffy. She's Fatma Saltwater. Nothing? Wow. Man, this one I got nothing on, but she is sexy. She is Marie Klein. I could recline with Marie Klein. How about that? Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah, thank you. And of course, there is so sexy Lexi Felton. Big shout to her. Lots of love. And can I tell you what are 4 words I've never said? I'm going to ask you, what are 4 words I've never said?
No officer. That's not mine.
Close. What I've never said is too young to regret. There are many of them. Many of them that are too young to regret.
Yeah, those birds in London you're talking about, what was their ages?
The age of consent is totally different there. That's all I'm saying. What?
You know what? You know the guy, you go over there and that guy from the movie, what's that movie? Taken, he gonna come looking for you like in the last one.
Age of consent in London is 16.
It's like the conversion with the money, you know. You go pounds to dollars, pounds to euros, age like 18 to 16, whatever.
Makes sense.
So the other thing is I didn't want to tell you that there may be a problem with me getting into London, you know, some past offenses, but
yeah, sounds like it.
We aren't going to talk about that.
As well.
And I guess last but not least, I have to give a big shout, man. She was awesome today.
She was.
Nerd like Jazzy.
Yes.
And I'm still looking for that pic with the socks and the... Anyway, those were...
Guru's already clearing his throat.
I saw Guru freak out.
Picture. We knew that was you when you clicked on that.
You saw the one, yeah, you knew.
I was like,
I put that up for you. Anyway, those were this week's Sneakerbox Podcast, Lady Sneakerheads of the Week, brought to you by Dee Dee Negron and her Kick It with Dee Dee 365 project. And Francis, if I were to look for that, where would I look for it?
Instagram.
Very good.
Got that shit.
I thought you were going to say MySpace. Like this, do it to Francis.
Give my fucking gold star. I got this.
Oh, yeah, you know, with that.
It's like a gold star of Satan.
Oh, watch your language, Mr. Dirty Mouth.
I haven't brought that one out in a while. I just had to have it for you.
Thank you.
Some 6-pointed star Ryan.
That's all I got for this week. You will be in London next week, and then
Francis,
Chicago the week after.
Yes, we'll be okay. Yeah, I guess we should say that.
Yeah, that's
I will be in London, so I will not be hosting. The guys here, Francis is going to take over duties. The guys should be here. I will probably call in. I don't know what's the time difference going to be like. What's that, like midnight when the show starts in London? It's like 5 hours ahead, right?
Right, something like that.
7 here will be midnight there.
Yeah, except I'm not going to be here either.
Oh, you're not?
No.
Oh shit.
Okay,
Okay,
none of us will be here.
Okay, well, okay, yeah. So nobody will be here, but I will do a. We're going to attempt to make something work in London. We're going to try to have a live show there. Also, we will be in Chicago.
Yes, we will be in Chicago.
The whole crew will be in Chicago. We're going to do a show Saturday. And then Sunday is when they're having the basketball game, and me and One-Legged Lister will be doing color commentary. We will, SneakerCon thought it was in the best interest to give me and Daniel access to their Instagram live feed. So we're going to be doing some color commentary during the game. So heads up for that. So that's pretty much it as far as
technically, don't we call it African American commentary?
Yes.
I'm just asking.
Yes, African American color is no longer colored commentary. It's African American color commentary.
When did color commentary come about?
When did African Americans come about?
No, I'm just saying I never heard it like when black people commentate. It's called color commentating. That's why I just want to know when did it start being called that.
I don't know. That's a good question though.
Because I've never heard that before.
And
Color commentary.
In an effort to be PC, we're gonna call it, instead of color commentary, it's gonna be African American commentary. Just like KKK white. Like what's triple white? Only thing triple is 3 Ks. Right?
Watch your boost is triple K white.
Nope. Anyway, let's get to these shout outs. Man, Mike Rich, I need to call him. I ain't talked to him in a minute. Man, this game is getting out of hand already. Mike Rich, you can follow him on Instagram as if you don't already know who he is. Rich_Mike23. Also check out his YouTube channel, Rich's Kicks. Sean Paper Chaser Williams and D Wells. OSD Live is coming back. OSD Live is coming back in podcast form. I don't know exactly when. I'm gonna try to reach out to him and see when, but shout out to those guys, the originators. Anyway, check out, until they make it official, I guess, with a date, you can check out their past and present episodes on iTunes and Android podcast apps. Also, remember to check out our sister show, the Monday Midsole, tomorrow at 8 on the Monday Midsole YouTube channel. And also check out the Soul Food Sneaker Show on Wednesday at 8 p.m. on, I want to say it's on OG Sneakers channel. Is that where it's at?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, and also, once again, check out our people, the He Hoarders. Find them on iTunes and Google Play. And Sneaker Files Podcast, which is also on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, all that good shit. What else I got on here? Oh, shout out to Sneaker Shields. Keep that toe box as crispy as the day you bought it. If the front of your shoe looks like knuckles on a human finger, you need to go ahead and get yourself one of Sneaker Shields' flexible inserts for your sneakers. Sneaker Shields, the best way to keep your kicks crease free. I know I do too. Also, remember to use Crep-Protect, the official partners of the Sneaker Box Podcast, to clean and protect your shoes from anything life or nature throws at it. Get the most out of your sneakers. Practice safe stunting, and go to crepprotect.com to get your shoes some protection. You can also follow them on Instagram and Twitter at Crep-Protect. Jumpman isn't here today, but you know, I guess you want to do it, Francis? Then
I'll do this. Yep.
In lieu of Jumpman.
Yep. The thought of the day. The successful, motivated person realizes that obstacles, failures, roadblocks, and issues teach more about success than does achieving instant success.
Hey.
Catherine Pulsifer.
That name sounds like a porn name, but
it's pronounced Gordon.
Good quote. It was a good quote.
try.
It was a good quote, though. Didn't mean to undermine the quote.
No.
Anyway, so I guess we won't see you guys next Sunday. But stay tuned to our social media. We'll be posting pictures and whatnot of things throughout the week. So once again, I'm the African Caesar, Guru, Francis. Shout out to our guest interview, Jazray Allen Lord. We love you. We'll see you in New York. And I guess we out. I'll see you guys when I get back in Chicago.
Also, don't forget to subscribe on iTunes if you haven't yet.
Yes.
Review us, even if they're bad.
Yes. Give us, that's the thing, like the way we get more pumped by iTunes or whatever is by the ratings. Like, so leave us a review, rate our podcast, tell us if we suck, tell us if we're great. I mean, I would prefer the latter, but in any event, the more you review us and leave a comment, the more it does for us as getting our podcast more and more out there.
And we have a grip of crap laying around, so we may start selecting people randomly and sending it to them.
Most definitely. So stay tuned for that. So anyway, we will see you guys in Chicago. Well, I'll see you in London. The entirety of the crew will see you in Chicago. We love y'all. Keep your heads up. Keep your sneakers clean. We'll see y'all. We out. Peace.
Peace.